5:30. Okay, it's 5:30. I'd like to call the June 25th, 2026 Charlotte Fire Department RFA Board of Commissioners meeting. Okay. Yeah.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Woolen appears to be absent tonight. And Commissioner Alvin has an excused absence tonight. Is there any public comment? Hearing none. We're going to move on to resolution 2601, appointing the board secretary and administration of oath of office.
You ready, Miss Beatrice?
I guess so. I don't know where to go.
Stand.
Okay.
As required by RCW 52.14.080, before beginning the duties of office, the board secretary shall take and subscribe an official oath similar to that of the fire commissioners for the faithful discharge of the duties of office. The executed oath shall be filed in the same office as the oath of the fire commissioners. The Board of Fire Commissioners has appointed Beatrice Goldsmith to serve as secretary to the Board of Fire Commissioners for the Shoreline Fire Department Regional Fire Authority, effective June 25th, 2026. As an official, as an official notary public for the state of Washington, I am authorized to administer oath. I will administer the oath of office and notarize the document in accordance with applicable requirements. Beatrice Goldsmith, would you please stand, raise your right hand, and read aloud the oath of office?
I, Beatrice Goldsmith, being duly appointed secretary to the Board of Fire Commissioners of the Shoreline Fire Department Regional Fire Authority, by resolution on June 25th, 2026, I solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of secretary to the Board of Commissioners of the Shoreline Fire Department Regional Fire Authority, as prescribed by law and to the best of my ability, and that I would support and maintain the laws and Constitution of the state of Washington and the United States.
Please. Thank you very much.
I have your, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Where's the ice rink for this?
I don't know.
The light switch for this side. Visual.
Yeah, or no. Oh, yeah, okay. So we'll do the meeting like that. Okay, all right, we need to please note that Commissioner Admin has arrived at 5:51. And Commissioner Woolen is now in attendance virtually at 10:33.
Commissioner Walton still waiting.
Oh. Okay, we have approval of the past minutes from June 11, 2026. Is there any amendments or corrections?
I have one.
Okay.
So I'm just requesting a correction to the spelling of Commissioner Kim Fisher's name under the projected agenda section.
So noted. Anything else? Hearing none, the minutes are approved as amended. Correspondence. We've got a very nice written letter here. Very nice. We have warrants, motion to approve. For June 25th.
I'll move to accept disbursements in the amount of $5,151,686.57.
I'll second.
Been motion by Commissioner Headland and seconded by Commissioner Webster. Any concerns or changes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. And then we have two corrections from warrants. Let's start with May 7th. It looks like it was changed to the amount. Or the amount should have read $219,189.94. Instead of the 216,000. So our grand total has changed. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to accept the corrected disbursements dated for May 7th, 2026 board meeting in the amount of $4,034,574.94.
It's been motion by Commissioner Feldman. Do you have a second?
Also.
Commissioner Harris. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Passes unanimously. Then we have a correction to June 11th. Warrants. Do we have a motion?
Paperwork for that one, or?
Yeah. Good match.
I move to accept the corrected disbursements dated for the June 11th, 2026 board meeting in the amount of $3,751,985.71.
I'll second.
It's been a motion by Commissioner Headline and seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect, passes unanimously. Commissioner report. Rick, do you have anything? Garrett? David, Rod, Barb?
This one.
Josh, Tyler, Lisa, do you have anything? Nothing, okay. I attended the pancake breakfast. It was wonderful. Good job to everybody. Financial report, not this time. Let's move on to RFA activity reports. We'll start with Chief Cows. Is there anything for Chief Cows?
The World Cup's uneventful.
Good question. Andres, maybe speak to some more of the details, but I'll give you the high level, which is that we upstaffed an extra medic unit and MSO for the first 2 games. And the quote unquote that we got was, it was less eventful than a Taylor Swift concert. So,
That's good.
so we've upstaffed a couple of times without real need, and so we won't be doing that again. We have been sending, medics or MSOs down to the stadium and all that. So far, fairly uneventful.
The day you said, Dr. Up.
Yeah. Well, that was yesterday's game. Was there an uptick yesterday?
Quiet.
Okay, so yesterday was our first game that we didn't upstaff for, which is, you're correct, that typically when we don't, it's
Yeah.
not something that happens. So,
There must have been a lot of training on Seattle operations or, things for the stadium, for the crew that goes down, taking some kind of orientation.
they get an orientation on the day of. There was some forward thinking training, but it wasn't very intensive. I got a I got a full walkthrough of all the security zones and the behind the scenes kind of stuff, along with some other chiefs, but it's pretty much day of, that they're getting their crash course.
When we were down there, the crowd was smaller than it was when there was a Seahawks game and a baseball game at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not as big a crowd.
I noticed, the US Australia game was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But and as the games progress, they might end up being a little more, depending on how people progress and stuff too, so.
Are things on track with Bothell?
That's part of the RFA discussion later, but yeah, I'll brief you all.
Okay, let's move on to Chief Hookstein's thing. So anything for Chief Hookstein? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to Chief Arms. Chief, did you have anything to add to the? Okay. Nothing for Chief Arms? Moving right along, old business, RFA, food bottle.
So, as you know, the city forwarded a resolution formally asking to join the RFA. I'm gonna kind of merge a couple of these things today together, actually. Snow Tent has also done the same thing. It's in the meeting earlier this week. So they're both at the same place. I've met with twice now with Kyle, the standard, the city manager, Juan, he's the finance director, and Chief Worms and I to talk about the handful of items that are kind of the more robust issues to resolve. And I feel like we've got some pretty good traction on these. I have literally just this afternoon, I have modified the governing documents and I'll send those to you later tonight or tomorrow morning for you guys, both a red line and a clean version for you to start looking at and digesting. I will give you the high points on this of those 5 issues. The city is going to retain their left one liabilities, so that's a good thing. They will cover any cash outs of vacation and sick leave for retirees through the end of 2028. They will transfer 7% of their, and this is all for you to give me feedback too. This is draft positions. They will transfer 7% of the 2027 operating budget for the fire department to include the other costs that are buried in the other divisions of the city. But they won't be able to do that until the city's reserves hit 10% or 2029 at the latest. So there could be a delay. Well, there will be a delay, for that. The fire stations, this became a bit more of a contentious topic. They will be. At first they wanted to retain the ownership through 2040, which is when the bonds are paid off. And then we were going to lease the stations back to be able to use them. This was not a position that I was, interested in. So we went back and forth a little bit on this and caucused. And so what we're planning on doing at this point is that the city will retain ownership through the end of 2028, or it could be transferred before that, and I'll tell you the reason why. And we will lease it for $1. All exist, and there's 2 issues that this is a good thing for us. The first is that we have some ongoing, pretty significant HVAC issue at both stations 42 and 45, the 2 new stations. There's 2 stations that Buffalo has and 1 station that Snow Tent has. And the stations 42 and 45 are both, since they're 3 years old and they've had issues for 3 years. They're ongoing lot of finger pointing and a lot of debate as to how to get these resolved. It's lawyers have started getting involved. I don't know if this will get resolved before we have an effective date of joining the RFA. So this was a problem for us because I didn't want to inherit a legal problem or something that had, potentially a fairly big cost and muddying the waters of who was going to be responsible. And, if we weren't the owners or the original owners, would that make a difference? Not only on the repair, but the legal fees and the warranty, it wasn't good. And there is some concern about the optics of the citizen or the voters of Bothell paying. I think they paid over $50 million for the 2 new stations and then immediately turned them over and transferred it to the RFAs. They look at that as an asset. I look at the transfer of the fire stations as a liability because we don't get to sell them. We don't get to take a line of credit. We don't get to give it to our kids or anything like that. It's a cost that we immediately need to start, paying maintenance and operations and eventually replacement of. So, so there's a little bit of a difference in, some of you may have heard some of that in the joint board meeting, and I feel like we made some progress on and understanding of the look that this has. Yeah, so, and then the last, or not glad, there's another one too, but the asset replacement, the capital replacement, they are gonna, we're figuring out how much that transfer will be. But there is some money that's set aside and we will get a transfer on the effective date. I don't know what that number is right now. We're working that up, probably in the neighborhood of 400,000 or something like that, which is a little bit short of where I wanted. I'm weighing all of this against the some short-term, inequity versus our taxpayers will see a significant decrease in 2028 in their in the overall tax rate that they'll pay. And I can move some money around and balance things out and then recover some of the things that we're taking a little bit of a hit on in the short term. So I felt like this was a good place to be. The final piece was the governance, which we've already landed on with the 333, and I put into the governing documents non-voting advisory board members. I've also included, I'm going to go over to Snow 10 for a second. I've also included the Snow 10 commissioners on an advisory board to address the 2 strategic projects that they've got going on, which is the purchase of a new fire engine and a major remodel of Station 44, the one station that Snow 10 that they own. So I'm wrapping this all up in a package. I'll send it to you both, again, as both a red line version and a clean version for you to start considering. I just sent it right before I came down here to the city for them to start looking at, for their legal to look at. And I did brief them that I was going to be talking to you tonight and ensuring that you had an opportunity to give me feedback on these positions. The rest of the other positions, the other 14 or the other 8 other things that I've identified as issues is we worked all those out, to my satisfaction, actually what we proposed. And the one thing that I'm still looking for is confirmation from the Snohomish County Assessor's Office of how we collect the Snow 10 EMS levy money and the Bothell Urban EMS District levy money, which mimic the King County EMS levy. And I just want to make sure that we've got a mechanism so that they continue to collect that money and then transfer it to us for the remainder of that levy. The Snow 10 Fire District, where it might be a little, it'll be interesting to see what they say. The Snow 10 Fire District will dissolve on the effective date that they join the RFA. There's no reason for the fire district to continue. And so they would transfer all assets, all revenues, all everything, and then would dissolve. So my question is to the assessor's office is, can the levy that's going to go through 2029 and 2030, Can they continue to collect that money for the fire district, even though the fire district doesn't exist? On that levy, and then transfer the money to us, and I don't know what that looks like quite yet, so that's one thing that I still have a question on. And obviously, this will need some legal review and so forth as well. And I try to capture everything else in the government documents. I'm happy to talk about any of the other, topics that we've discussed in the past. But you'll see a lot of red line versions of from the existing RFA, and then you'll see a clean version.
Is that really the only sticking point with having an RFA in two different counties?
That's the one that I found that's really more kind of prevalent for us, because from an RFA, from a fire side, it doesn't matter if we cross county lines or not. We have the authority to assess, the property tax. In fact, we have to assess a property tax that's equal across, and there's state law that requires it to be a consistent and equal charge. So whatever we charge on the King County side, we have to charge on the Snohomish County side. As an RFA and our boundaries, we get to charge everybody the same throughout the whole thing. Where it gets the reason why this is clunky or challenging, clunky is not a very good word. The reason why this is challenging is because King County has instituted a county-wide EMS levy. And that's different than most. In fact, I don't know of any counties in the state that do that. For example, like South Snohomish County Fire District, they have their own EMS levy that they charge. Snohomish Regional Fire and Rescue, they charge their own EMS levy, and they usually charge about 50 cents. They charge to the maximum that they can. But those are individually assessed by that fire district, similar to what Snow 10 does now. But they're mimicking what King County does, and because King County is in the lead on this, and they changed, and there's some law that they changed to allow for King County and not to be subjugated to other EMS levies because of capacity. And so King County is the lead agency, so we're not allowed to. We have to follow King County every time on Snohomish County EMS levies, which is what they did. They did it in Snow 10 and in the Bothell Urban EMS District. They followed the King County levy with their own levy, and so it's like a 5-year levy instead of a 6. But I think we're okay on the Bothell side. I just need to know what we need to do for the Snow 10 levy. If the fire district dissolves, can they continue to collect that levy, or do we need to pass our own EMS levy this next year to capture that money? And that would be my plan B, more than likely, which is if they come back and say that's not possible, we'll run an EMS levy next year on our own to mimic what yeah.
Oh, that's similar. I was gonna say, maybe that would be a reason, if you can't work around that, that would be a reason for Snow 10 district to continue to exist. But
and that was one of my inklings too, or my feelings that we could do that. The problem there is the 3 commissioners that are there. One of them cannot continue to be a fire commissioner because he's currently a shoreline employee.
Right.
And so we would have to replace, and there's not very much interest up there to be a commissioner, and the other 2 commissioners are ready to resign their positions and all that. As soon as we get, and that's why I named them to the advisory board, is once they get these other 2 projects done, they're happy to, sail off. That is an option that we could look at doing, but that brings some challenges to it. I would probably actually lean towards just running our own EMS levy, even though we would have to do an election, we'd have to go for another ballot measure. But that might be the best option if the assessor says, no, if the district dissolves, then there's no mechanism, but then we'll have to run something next year. What's
the order of magnitude of the dollars of that levy that we received, do you know?
Stand by. So it's get twice. think that's it. That seems high to me, 560,000. Seems high to me, but they have about 2 billion in AV, and I believe that it's around 28 cents.
Okay.
So that'd be 560,000. I think it's about 2 million. I could have done that in my head. It seems a little high to me, but I'd have to do, that's a good question.
I was just curious, like how pressing of an issue it was, or
Well,
if you don't want to walk away from it.
I mean, even 56,000 is, still, it's still money.
Yeah,
And frankly, if we end up, I'm just kind of thinking out loud now. If we end up having to run an EMS levy for Snow 10, we might as well probably take over the Bothell Urban EMS District levy as well and do both at the same time. So that it's just cleaner. I'll have to, more to come. This is something I've already emailed out and reached out on to try and get some more clarity. And then I will email you prior to our next meeting to answer this question, because this is one that's still out there. I am back to, and that's a good segue too. My plan is to get unless there's concerns or questions about anything in the governing documents, is to clean those up and have it ready for you to act on July 9th. To pass a resolution to kick it back to Snow 10 and to the city to pass a resolution to put it on the November ballot. So please take a look at the governing documents and the talking points. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, and if there's a lot of concern or something like that, then I'll get with Commissioner Fisher and maybe have a special meeting to talk just about those things or something like that. If everybody's okay with it, I'll just continue moving forward with July 9th. And we can do any final tweaking in July 9th too, even. But we'd have to be really on it, because we will have to kick it back immediately for them to act. So, any questions? That was a lot.
Let's move on to new business then. We have resolution 2602, Shoreline Fire Department Claims Agent.
Okay, so some of these motions are because BOPA is resigning her position, and as sad as it is to think about, this next week is the next couple of days, Monday and Tuesday are their last. We need to take care of business like some of it we've already just did earlier with naming Beatrice as our board secretary, but now we also need to do a few housekeeping items, and one of them is to name somebody as our claims officer in case there is a tort claim or any other kind of legal action that's coming our way. So our recommendation is that we name Rachel Garlisi as our claims officer.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we authorize the RFA Governing Board of Commissioners to approve and sign resolution 26-02, appointing Rachel Garlini as the department's agent to receive claims.
Second.
It's been motion by Commissioner Hammond and seconded by Commissioner any further comments? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. Passes unanimously. Moving on to resolution 2603.
This is the next housekeeping item. We have to name our new auditing officers. Essentially, this is the oversight and the authority to not only review, but the responsibility of reviewing the vouchers and bills. Oh, and of note, also in here, even though we don't have that person, filled or that position filled yet, it'll also include the director of human resources. Once we have that person.
Well, we would have to repass another.
I think we can just have them sign the sheet if you pass it in form tonight. We'll have them sign the forms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion for resolution 2603?
I'll make a motion to authorize the RFA governing board of commissioners to approve and sign resolution 26-03. Appointing auditing officers for the Shoreline Fire Department, RFA.
You have a second?
I'll second.
A motion by Commissioner Abner, seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Any further discussion?
Yes, just really quickly, what Chief was kind of referencing was these accounts, payable authorized signature form.
Yeah.
And so that's where we would add the human resources director to this and they would be signing, so all of the, like. Chief and folks I'm grateful are signers that can get the process going.
And there's
Let's go.
Meeting adjourned.
And just so you're aware that all of your electronic signatures are on here and included here, I posted them on there, so.
Okay, perfect. Move on to resolution 2604, establishing
I don't
record retention. Did we vote?
We didn't vote.
Thank you. All in favor of resolution 2603, say aye.
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 Perfect, passes unanimously. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Now we're on resolution 2604, establishing record retention and medical records officer.
Our next housekeeping items is that we have to have a assigned public records officer that oversees, especially the more sensitive or critical records production, but also our retention schedule and disposal of records.
You don't have anybody assigned for that yet?
So we will both is
Not
oh
for a new
Yeah.
person now? I don't see a name attached. to this. Again,
It's by,
it's Rach. Oh, we don't have.
well, no, it's I think it's by, which one is this one? Medical record retention. Yeah, it's by title,
Oh, okay, thank you.
not,
That would be Rachel.
Yes.
and it should say in there,
It says director of
Exactly.
administration.
Sorry, thank you.
and that's her.
Had a little. No, I think you were right on that.
Okay, do we have a motion for resolution 2604?
I move to authorize the RFA governing board of commissioners to approve and sign resolution 2604. Establishing a record retention officer and medical records privacy officer for the Shoreline Fire Department, RFA.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Conlon. Do we have a second?
second.
By Commissioner Weiss. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. Passes unanimously. Moving on to surplusing the ambulance and pumper.
So we have a couple of vehicles to surplus out, end of life, land replacement and so forth. I'm in an awkward position. I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna step out of the room. My fire chief from Snoqualmie Pass, was planning on being here tonight to make a pitch for, getting it donated to him, to the Snoqualmie Pass Fire. For full transparency, I am a deputy chief there. So I would ask that it's considered to be donated. The department bought a surplus vehicle some years ago that lasted 2 weeks. And paid, bought it in auction and paid and then it died 2 weeks, like a week after the department got it. There is some value to this, but this is also another government entity that you have the ability to donate it to if you so see fit and all that. It would be greatly needed. Our frontline engine up there is really falling apart. It's rotting. I got it on a grant about 25 years ago. I really feel awkward in this, so I'm gonna step out for you guys to have this conversation. I'll just be in the lobby so you can just get.
Before we go, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Didn't we do something similar for Oso Fire Department? We, probably we donated, but we sold them 2 pieces of,
I believe we did.
chief cars or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
They didn't last very long either, but didn't we charge them for a little bit of money?
Don't know if we did, I'd have to, I don't know, I don't know if we did, we donated, the North Shore donated an A-card to Peru. I do remember we gave them like a Suburban number
Yeah,
two. I
they were
don't,
white.
yeah, I don't remember if they will, I don't think we charged them for it though. But
Before you step out,
I'm really feeling awkward, so I'm sorry, so.
um. Just the resolution or the. Yeah, the recommendation, the surplus. It just indicates that they're gonna go to auction through Ritchie Brothers and Shea Ellis, doesn't make any mention of them getting directed to a particular place, so do we? Need to adjust the language of this, that we're intending a donation as opposed to an auction through Ritchie Brothers?
Correct, you could amend the motion if you so please.
You want both of them?
No. Well, I don't want to speak for him on the aid card, but it's the fire engine, I think that's more critical at this point. I think he'd be happy getting both, but
Is there a need?
for an aid card there, yeah, but we did get a grant about a year and a half ago, so we got one new aid card. There's one primary station up there and 3 volunteer stations. And the aid card that we got is in the primary station. There's no backup for it, or good backup for it. So the aid card, could be used as well. But really our biggest need is on the fire engine side. I'm sure you'd be happy with both, but I don't want to be greedy. I wish he was here to be able to speak to this more. It's a department that, it's not huge. We do 600 to 800 calls a year and have a budget of about 900,000 a year for paid staff of 6 and the fire chief and a district secretary, but there's no capital replacement fund or anything like that, so we have to rely on creative ways, either grants or donations or things like that to replace things, which is why the frontline engine is one that I got on an AFG grant 25 plus years ago. And it's literally, rotting apart. That was.
Chief, and commissioners, I just want to offer also that our financial policy does allow for an intergovernmental transfer, and that is documented in our policy, and it's not even really considered a donation. It is just an intergovernmental transfer that we can offer an apparatus like this in that fashion, I believe. Is so, Chief, if you want to add anything to that, but that's within our policy too.
The value of these things, I mean, we could get 5,000 to 7,000 probably for the aid card, maybe 10 or 12,000 for the fire engine. So there is some value in here. So that's why I feel awkward about this. So let's get this done.
Any more questions for Chief before he leaves?
It's running away.
Right.
Comments, questions?
We want to get it.
I know we have done.
Sell.
The aid car will go for about 12,000. It's worth more than he said. It's 4-wheel drive, and it's the one-way baby. And it's kept for
Yeah, well,
reserve you to sell these years.
my suggestion would be to donate Hunter and then take the ambulance to.
What's the justification?
He didn't have one, did he?
I was just curious. Bunch of people who live up the past that want to enjoy Mother Nature and not pay their way.
I don't know if it's so much that as the lack of population up there that they can't afford it. That's just rural county. You don't have the tax authority like you have.
Yeah, that's.
But who lives up there, they could move down here.
It's not just who lives.
Well, you should say the same, also.
Well, I said it for Manson actually once, but that was when Kennison was here.
Well, also it's You know, it's not just the people who live there, there's the highways that go through there, that's where they meet a lot of times. I'm all right with front door. Something good.
Anybody else?
I think I agree with Rick, that's a pretty active area, especially on the freeway there on the east side, it goes to pretty good
Oh, yeah.
incidents there, so having a reliable pumper. And that makes sense, the fiscal side, that they just don't have the needs, yeah, and also wildfires are big up there too.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it either. I think that, we just need to make sure that we use the correct language if we do, do something different than this, recommendation.
I suggest that you do two separate motions.
Right.
And it's just state the motion to, declare the pumper or whatever to. Donate it, however you want to say the language. And the next one be.
Transfer.
Yeah, the government has, and then the other one be. Surplus through auction.
You want to do this now or break cheap?
No, we'll wait until she comes in. Josh, Tyler, or Lisa, do you have anything to add? No.
I'd offer that I'm in favor. It's not just the residents there, it's everyone who utilizes the highway system, who recreates in the area. I think that it shows support for a community that doesn't have the resources, but still has the need. Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
Okay. Lisa, do you have anything to add?
No, I agree with Josh completely.
Okay, great. Somebody wanna grab chief, please? Thank you, Andreas.
Yeah.
So the ambulance goes to auction and it probably goes to. I can say that.
I'll give it a shot.
We decided to put it all through the crusher.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that, we, based on the department no longer having a need for the pumper. The 2010 Pierce, that we declare the 2010 Pierce as listed in this document. Surplus to the department and use an intergovernmental transfer to transfer it to the Snoqualmie Pass Fire Department.
we have a motion.
I'll
by,
second.
Who seconded? Thank you. Good voice here. Okay, all in favor of the pumper being donated through an intergovernmental transfer, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
Thank you very much. I know that Chief Wiseman will be very happy about this. Thank you very much.
okay, now we have the 2010 ambulance.
We use the same document here, just cross off
Yes.
the buffer.
Yes.
Yeah, make a motion.
I'll make the motion. I move that declare the vehicle listed above to be no benefit to the department and to declare the apparatus surplus. And authorize the fire chief or his designee to dispose of vehicles through auction. The vehicle.
Which was the ambulance.
Just the ambulance, yes, item number 1101.
Commissioner Webster, motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Ambulance goes to auction. Okay, surplus equipment donation. All kinds of fun things here that can be donated, where they want to be donated to.
I believe that he's online, so Chief Oakstein, I think we're doing a garage sale
here for these, is that correct, or?
This item, if I'm correct, Beatrice, am I right? This is for the defibrillators?
Yes, it's donation.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is, sorry, this is the defibrillators, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not the rest of the stuff.
So was there a question? I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah, who are they being donated to?
Hero Saver.
Yeah, in the document there's some background information on that. It's a 501c3 nonprofit called Hero Saver
Okay,
that provides gear, equipment, and resources to firefighters and emergency responders in underserved communities. So these defibrillators are likely to go down to Central or South America, where they can be repurposed for their emergency services there.
I have a question on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm gonna be like the chief. So a nonprofit that I work at has a defibrillator that is past its useful life. And so we don't have a functioning defibrillator at the visitor center location. I don't know how many defibrillators we have.
Picture looks like how many do we have, Matt?
I think there's 8 or 10 of them on that pallet. I don't have it off the top of my head how many exactly were on there. I apologize.
And these are ones that are still supported by Philips. We just don't.
Yeah.
Use it.
Yeah, they're the obviously the older generation ones that were in the back of staff vehicles for quite a while. I can't speak to Phillips supporting them or not actually.
Commissioner Admin, I can shed some light on that. Phillips is no longer supporting the FR3. There are still some batteries and pads available on the open market, but once those are consumed, they're not planning to produce any more after 2026. So they do have a pretty short lifespan.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I guess I would, I don't know, I don't want to do anything which is a conflict of interest, but organization is a 501c3, is be a public benefit, I'm eager to get one of these defibrillators.
I don't know, and
I don't have a problem with that,
especially if it's a
we need a separate. Well, the resolution, don't we?
It'd just be donate the equipment to Hero Saver and
Just add that to,
whatever the name of the
Yeah.
organization is.
What's the name of it?
It's called the Adopt a Stream Foundation. Adopt a Stream. Maybe two.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Really, either 1 or 2 units to that, to this
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah,
We need to put that in so that.
yeah,
You know,
insert that in the verbiage.
okay.
Okay, we have a motion.
I move to declare that he's identified on the attached surplus equipment inventory list as surplus to the needs of the Shoreland Fire Department. And authorize the fire chief or designee to donate the equipment to Hero Saver. And 1 or 2 AEDs to Adopt a Stream Foundation.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
What's the name of your?
Adopt.
Stream.
Uh,
Adopt Stream. Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
All of us.
Aye.
Aye.
And Commissioner Admin abstained. Next one, surplus equipment sale.
Some stuff.
there another sit on, next one, fact, purchase?
The big one. This is the big one. This is the big one. It's in your. So there's a. Yeah, we can get two more. Here. Oh,
You can't bid on anything that she's already.
let me give you the motion as well.
Oh.
I don't think so.
It's like you got, you know, the warehouse.
This is, sorry, I had jumped ahead to this one. This is the one that we're gonna dispose of through the garage sale. Approach.
Do we have a motion? Motion?
So, my friend.
Oh, make motion and then it's been on your furniture.
I'll make that.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion. I move to declare that the listed equipment surplus and valuables and authorize the fire chief or Dale's committee to surplus using a garage sale format permitted in policy 126.
I'll second it.
You. Been motioned by Commissioner Webster and seconded by Commissioner Hudline. Is there any discussion? Comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
When's the garage sale?
Any opposed? Passes unanimous.
Not sure when it is. Matt allowed to tell us when. it is.
Sole source purchase.
Okay, so we are in the process now of replacing the command box on the MSO rig. And there's details in your packet here as to why we want to do a sole source. And is to, the short version is to say that we want to be consistent with our command presence on scenes. And so this is a similar, not same, but similar command box to our BC rigs. The MSOs at times are managing larger incidents and or helping out even on the fire incidents too. This is not as robust as the BC rig, which has 3 different workstations. This has 1, but it's for the sake of not only consistency in operations, but repair work and so forth. We want to use Rockwell. I think it's the name of the Stonewell, sorry. Stonewell custom built or Stonewell body, sorry. And declared sole source. We also are able to get a little bit of economies of scale because Thoughtful is also in the process of a BC rig and using Stonewall as well. So we're going to get a little bit of a discount because we're going to pair it up with that one. And the same people that are going to go back to inspect the MSO rig will also be inspecting the BC rig. So there's some savings too.
This is the vehicle, or this is just a box on
Just
the
the
vehicle?
box.
But we previously.
Chassis.
The vehicle,
Correct.
where's it at?
Chassis is it back there, Matt, already or?
No, we have. It has not even been delivered yet, but we've ordered the chassis. It'll be. Or we can see if this goes through. We can see if we can get it dropped in New York. But yeah, we're still waiting on the chassis. So this is just a motion, sole source motion for just the box.
Yeah, I thought we just did it, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I vote to authorize the fire chief or his designation to the full form purchase right in the mailbox. 90-inch stone wheel custom built body, stone wheel bodies. I said that right.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Sullivan. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Webster. Is there any further discussion or questions?
I just got a comment. It went up a lot of money since the first one we bought.
Everything.
Everything
Almost
is
double.
really, yeah, of the same company.
Yes.
But how long ago did we buy them?
5 years.
So, all right then.
Doubles, this is number, I'll say, number 3, Andres, is this number 3? The third rig we've gone to.
Yes, this is the third one,
Third one.
and the Bothell BC rig will be the fourth.
All right,
8,000.
we've got motion on the table, all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you. One added thing I meant to mention earlier is that because we're going there and we have consistency, and these boxes they are expensive, but they are also built to be remounted as well. So as the chassis wears out, we can remount these boxes, similar to our approach on the 8 cars.
Projected agendas, that real quick.
And you have-
Let's see that.
So you may or may not have seen my email regarding the loss of a firefighter that resigned a few years ago. And I just want to put this on your radar. I don't have the date of his celebration of life, but as soon as I get that, I'll let you all know. Call Dave. So yeah, and so just it was pretty impactful, even though he left the department a few years ago. His impact here is still being felt. I'm sorry.
He's pretty young.
All right, do we have any scheduled absences or virtuals? Other what's listed?
I won't be there on the July 23rd.
Anybody else?
And I actually have to discuss with my wife the July 9th, that's the day for the parent party, so.
How about, should we put you down as excused and,
If I can get it, I'll make it, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, how do I address this with her?
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, she's sitting in the car, so I'm just thinking she really wanted.
You can invite her in.
She didn't want to.
She's getting ready to retire.
She's done.
So one of the things that we have some pinning or some promotions to recognize for the pinning ceremony. And there's I think 6 on this. There's 7. That you remember? Look here. We have
Look,
more than one. It's more than a handful, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. In the past, we have talked about this, and instead of doing it before our regular board meeting, it seems like the inclination of the board is to do it on its own day. If that's the case, then we can look at either another Thursday or whatever, or a Tuesday. We've thrown out some dates.
How soon are you planning to do it?
How soon?
Yeah.
Well, some of them are been promoted for a while, so we'd like to do it sooner than later. Okay.
Do you have dates?
So, I thought we put out dates, but I don't see them here, didn't?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, well, you had thrown out dates of a board meeting.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
what
also
it
a
is.
suggestion, because we actually do not have to have a board meeting to have this fitting ceremony. It's just an event. It's an event,
Yeah.
And so-
good point.
yeah.
Yeah,
and you could have it at a different time too, not having to be 5, we just depending on whatever you like, so.
I'm sorry, you're right. We looked at meetings,
Only
not,
meetings, yeah.
yeah, not doing, so
And it's 17.
7, all right, thank you.
Seems like for families that people who live around different parts of the area, 5 PM is probably not the most convenient time for.
We go 6. 6:30, 7.
Last time was 6.
What's that?
Was it 6 o'clock? We did it last time.
Last time I think we did right before our meeting.
Yeah. I think
So
the
it-
worship better get it.
Do you like Thursdays, or do you want Thursdays and Tuesdays seem to be, or no, Tuesdays don't work. for you?
We have, no, not anymore.
Oh, okay,
I'm not in course.
so.
We have meetings on Wednesdays as far as county,
Right,
so those are open.
so we could look at a Tuesday or we could look at a Thursday in between our meetings.
You wanna do it?
I could just throw out some dates to you guys and you can all respond back. But maybe could look at July 7th or.
Maybe later.
That's 4th of July weekend.
I'm in a health and welfare trust meeting in Spokane that day,
Okay,
but
um,
the other Tuesdays are all open.
oh, I can't do the 7th. I can't do the 7th.
About 14.
I can't do the 14th either.
Hey, Chief, could I recommend a doodle poll at some point or to throw out, or do you want to try and lock it down here?
I can hand it off.
Monday the 13th.
I guess, well, I guess the other question is,
Monday's the other for two.
would it be good to like check out the 7 people getting promoted, what works best for them? And then, that's a few of us.
All right, we work on this and that's
Yeah.
a great idea. You know, why don't we work with the people and make sure that we're trying to get as good an attendance as possible? And we'll throw out a couple of days. Okay, all right, I think, thank you for being common sense.
Big association statute.
I could give a brief, no, you know what, it can wait. So yeah, I will share with you, I will have some personal contracts prepared for the next meeting. So
6:31, meeting adjourned.
thank you again for the donation, that was very nice of you all.
Yeah, same for me.
Good I know.
A lot of
For the next meeting, a lot of items. Well, so about Monday, what else regarding stuff.
Oh, and then.
Yeah.
No.
I've been hearing a lot of things that are part of one meeting, so.
Well, actually, there is no that meeting. It's just gonna be one resolution. I mean, the government, that all we can get back to this city and Snow 10. Actually, it'll be 2 resolutions, but they have to be separated. So 2 resolutions